Here we have a 2010 on a 10 registration, Bova FHD 127365, Futura Classic, 73 seat coach. So, unusual additions these to the Alpine fleet, being predominantly Volvo and Turismo, but it's all to do with Coach Travel Group, of course. So, this is two owners from new, one owner from new if you say it's always Coach Travel Group, but these were new to Johnson's. Or this was new to Johnson's, Henley and Arden, cascaded down the fleet, and then when all these currently, what, 8, I think, companies have sort of come together, it's quickly been noticed that Alpine have an ageing fleet of Volvo Plaxtons as school coaches. So the logical thing was to cascade these vehicles down. However, they haven't really found favour here, so the decision has been made to move them on instead. Nothing wrong with them, just haven't really fitted in. So, bodywork's all good, wheel trim's fitted as you can see, power operated centre continental door fitted, which you all know I like on a high capacity vehicle. As I said, bodywork's good, always look underneath on a Futura. Those who run them should know that. Under the bonnet, Euro 5 DAF PR engine, that's driven through a ZF fully automatic gearbox, so we all know that bit's good. Back down the near side again, nothing to give me any cause for concern. Winner with these Bovas always was lack of weight. Okay, they've always been very light, which lends itself to a lot of things. The other thing is, when sort of north of 12 metres, less than 13 metres became popular, because this is an integral product and not built on a chassis, all the length was put in the wheelbase rather than in the overhangs. What that gave you was huge luggage space. Okay, which on a vehicle that's got 73 seats in is a massive advantage, especially if you do school residentials, because I think you're not going to struggle with that. Anyways, we jump on board. These have been converted specifically after they came from Johnson's for Alpine, so pretty relatively new conversion carried out by Ashall's up in Manchester. 73 prime seats, 3-point seat belts fitted. Seats obviously being new are in very good condition. The reason you've 2 and 2 here, the only reason I can think of, is that there's a lot of construction from this pillar that goes right over and down that side that's to do with E66 rollover regulations, and I think obviously that's why there'll be some reason why Jimmy's had to go 2 and 2 here. Grey carpet to the seat backs, which looks great when it's new. Another thing you have to do with a Bova when you upseat it like this, and it's to do with the headroom clearance, because the aisle becomes offset, is remove the near side luggage racks. Okay, obviously for people walking down the aisle, they're going to be clatting their head otherwise. So they've obviously been removed, but the PSUs remain. Fully air conditioned. The only sort of negative really is it suffers a bit from Bovaritis where the glass is concerned. You've got several windows where the double glazing seal has gone. That's probably the best. That's only just started, and then they sort of get progressively worse. I think there's 8 or 9 blown double glazed units here, if not maybe 10, all slightly worse than others. So that's something that you may or may decide to address. We're wired for CCTV. We're wired for DVD with one monitor at the front, if that makes a difference on a school coach. Not sure it does these days. You'll have 73 mobile phones going at 100 mile an hour, won't you? Standard Bova dash. All in good order, nothing missing, nothing where it shouldn't be. This one has got an emissions light which will need to be addressed prior to sale. Mileage, well, it's up there. It's just clocked 1 million kilometres, but it's 15-year-old. It's not going to be low, is it? You know, but you've got to remember, it's come up until, what, 6 months ago? It was a home that has ran Bovas since they first came into the country, Futuras, in the mid-80s, or even early 80s. So they know what they're doing with these. So one thing I will say, it will have been spannered right. I think the other thing you have to remove when you make these high capacity, because it's quite a way over, is the courier seat, hence lack of one. But in fairness, let's look at the plus points. Loads of luggage. You're at decker capacity at 73. DAF with a ZF fully automatic gearbox. Really one owner from new, bar for the last 6 months, who knows what they're doing. So you can't really go wrong, can you? So, to recap, it is 2010 on a 10 registration, Bova FHD 127365 Futura Classic 73 seat coach.